Now, I am so guilty of this. I have often been lazy to warm up and stretch before I do exercises. But the fact is, I've come unstuck a few times now. The older you get, the more likely it is that you're going to become injured. And maybe not from exercising, from just standing up, from just lifting up a bag, from just getting into bed. As we get older, our muscles are just not as flexible as they used to be. They become tight and we lose our range of motion. The older you get, the worse it will become. And in the end, you get that hunched over look and everything's hard and you feel stiff. But it's actually not difficult to fight against that. Let's call it a mobility routine. Okay? So if you're exercising, before you do exercising, it's healthy and wise to do dynamic stretching, which basically means we're going through the range of motion for that joint that we're about to exercise. We're loosening it up, we're stretching out the muscle, so the muscle is more supple and less likely to pull or to tear, or for you to hurt yourself while you're exercising. Now, if you were just doing a mobility routine, you tend to better to focus on static stretches. So that means is to do a stretch and hold it for up to 30 seconds. That's what is the gold standard for improving your mobility. 30-second stretches or longer. So if you wanna feel, more energized, you wanna, be more supple and movement is enjoyable as opposed to painful, then put together a mobility workout. I'm going to start doing some mobility routines. I need to focus more on them for myself also. So I will put some content online about mobility stretches, but they're very, very important. And literally, they can take 10 minutes a day and they will make all the difference. Many of them can be done in bed before you get up, and they're not complicated and they're not difficult. And you may start off, realizing that how poor or how bad your range of motion is, but by slowly, increasing those, the range of motion of those stretches, you will soon have a great range of motion, just from 10 minutes a day. And as I said, you can do it before you can get up, or when you're in bed before you go to sleep. Okay. So I will put some content online, but if you don't do any kind of stretches, all right, before you do exercises, you're at great risk of hurting yourself, having some bad tears. I pulled the long head on my bicep muscle. That's been detached by not warming up. But the risk for injuries tend to increase, the risk for pain and the risk of independence is put at risk if you don't do any mobility work. But by building a strong foundation of mobility, of stretching, it protects you against such things. So when do we start? Right now, silly!